My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. I've worked 10 years at the IRS. I've been on the outside for 42 years. Like it's in prison. This is my daily rant about abolish the IRS and what's going on. It is a complete crap show right now. I want to just tell you the stupidity about what happened and the IRS and Trump and all this stuff. You have to know that. I'm in this business. My work depends on IRS resolution. So when I do these, I want to be unbiased so everyone can understand where I'm coming from. I've worked thousands of IRS cases. I've been on the national news at least 10 times. 6 of those national interviews are on my website at 777irs.com. I think sometimes decisions have been made with IRS without doing any due diligence. And this is a perfect case of a overreaction by the federal government to do what people thought, oh, it was the best thing, cut IRS. Yay, everyone claps, everyone claps. Yeah, we're going to take down the IRS and all that. Let me just remind you all of a couple of things. 81% of all the people who file tax returns get refunds. What you're basically doing is you're slowing up the process. You've got computers that are 70 years old, software that 62 of them can't talk to our modern day computers. This is really what's going on. The administrative needs, pick up the phone and try to get a tax question answered by IRS. You can't do that. The IRS is the funding mechanism of the United States government. You can't just stop the IRS and stop income from it. Now, if you're listening to this, let's be real. If you're a wage earner, you're not cheating on your taxes unless you're taking extra credits you shouldn't take. If you're self-employed or a corporation, you're probably taking exemptions and maybe write-offs that you shouldn't. You're really pushing the edge so you don't want to get caught on an IRS audit. Well, really, only pigs usually get audited by IRS, where you grossly overinflate some of the expenses and usually just caught up in the computer algorithm that says, hey, this looks like a cheat alert. Now, not all the time, but that happens. I don't think anyone has an idea of how much criminal activity there is with tax returns and the money you can get back from the Treasury, with all this borrowed money from SBA and all this stuff. There are people who stole millions and billions of dollars for the government that once you remove that arm from the United States and the enforcement tool, who's going to pay the tax? We've got to pay the tax to fund the government. Well, just does any president say no? Or just not going to go ahead. We're not going to go ahead and raise taxes. What they do is they take away your deductions and raise the limits. That's how they play with all this stuff. I'm just letting you know. I know you hear all this crazy stuff and everyone's, let's stop the audits. Let's stop IRS. Let me tell you something. At the end of the day, very few of you get audited in a lifetime. Very few. Very few of you have problems with IRS. Very, very few of you. At the end of the day, if you were caught, many times you kind of extended the boundaries just a little. There is so much rapid tax fraud that people really have no idea. Now, we were on the phone. My partner, Peter Salinger, he was talking to the Philadelphia office of the IRS, had someone on the phone, and the person on the other end of the phone says, hey, I've got to go. Peter says, where you're going? We're trying to close the case. He says, I've just been fired. I've got to leave the building. 8,000 people. Let me tell you about these 8,000 people. All they're doing is filling the places of people who retired and people who are going to have to walk out. I'm telling you, this makes absolutely no sense. So you cheer all the way and abolish the IRS. At the end of the day, at the very end of the day, between me and you, this is the worst agency that you can take funding cuts. Plus, they never found out there was any at all misappropriation of funds. How do you do that when there's been no appropriate misappropriation of funds? It doesn't make sense. Come on, let's use our heads. Anyway, that's my rant for today. I'm a former agent. If you need me, you know where to get a hold of me. Thank you.